Okay, welcome to Chapter 4, Part 7. This is going to cover maintenance of radio equipment and will be kind of short. So, like other EMS equipment, radio equipment must be serviced and maintained. And the first thing you want to do is every day check your battery life. In most places, you need to carry two batteries with you, one that's in the radio itself, and then carry a spare radio battery as well. Because during the day, batteries will go dead with use, depending on how much they're used. And as the older the battery gets, the faster the life of the battery will drain. Just remember, your radio is your lifeline. So if you're stuck inside a residence and a perpetrator comes up with a knife or a gun or something, the only way you have to call for help is your radio. And even though you may have a cell phone or something, but a radio can be immediate. And some radios have an emergency button on them that you can just hit, and it will automatically alert dispatch that you're in trouble. So at the beginning of your shift, check it, make sure that it's good, test it. You may do a radio check with another unit or with dispatch. Just remember, your radio equipment is just like any other equipment. It can have failures. It can fail during a run. You need a backup plan so that you'll know what to do if your radio does go bad. So if your radio goes bad, hopefully your partner has one. But just remember, you need to contact your supervisor, let them know, and stuff. What do you do if your radio fails while you're in the middle of patient care and you're trying to get orders? Well, some places have a protocol in place for that. An agency I worked for had a standard set of protocols in case you were unable to contact medical control, which was a little different, a little more advanced than your normal protocols. But if that was to happen, you had some documentation that you would have to provide, or a narrative or certification that you had to provide that you were out of radio contact and were unable. Other thing too is you want to make sure that you keep your radio, in a secure location so that it doesn't get stolen, that you don't lose it. You want to make sure you keep it as dry as possible. I know it's hard to do when it's raining outside, but most of them you don't want to submerge in water. You don't want to leave them out in the cold, or put them in your dash in the middle of the summer where they're exposed to 120, 130 degree temperatures either. When you're at the hospital, you want to make sure that you keep up with them. Don't just lay them down and walk away from them, because they may disappear. Now, you also want to know your radio's maintenance plan, because radios have a standard set of maintenance schedule that, like your vehicle does, or your life pack or your AED and stuff does as well. So you want to make sure that your radio is getting the proper maintenance, and usually we keep a sticker on there that has the date of when either the last maintenance was performed or when the next maintenance is due as well. So keep up with that, and if you're confused, ask your supervisor or your supply officer when it's due. Alright, so that does it for maintenance of radio equipment. I know it's very brief, it's not very technical. About the only things we can do is not drop them, don't put them in water, keep them in a pretty good environment, don't throw them in too hot of temperatures, too cold of temperatures. If there is any damage to it, report it immediately to your supervisor. Have a backup plan in place so if something does happen, and so on. So that's it. Our next section, which should be, I believe, our last section, we'll go over written communications.